Hello and welcome to the very first, the pilot episode of Shedaloogoo. Let's go inside the shed and find out what's happening.
Shedaloogoo.
So here we are inside the shed, and this is where it all happens, and this is where it's going to be happening for the next, well, however long this show goes on for. And this is where I've been living for the past few months. This is my bed, it's the floor, and this is where I'm going to be making the show. So it's a living shed that we're in this afternoon with a window, not such a good view, and I'll be here making Shedaloogoo. What an unusual name, but very original. So let's find out what's coming up today. So what is coming up today? We have got shed lyrics, we have got where are they now, we've got Shedaloogoo joke of the day, we've got the Shedaloogoo fascinating fact, we've got Shedaloogoo, we've got story of the day, name the location, where am I, where's Golly, and of course I've been talking about shed life. So we've got everything going on here with some unusual sounds and no budget. So sit back and enjoy the show.
Broadcasting from a real shed in England.
Shedaloogoo lyrics. Okay, want this program to be as interactive as possible, where you at home can join in. So I'm going to reveal some words from a song. I'm not going to sing them, thank goodness. And if you know the name of the artist and the song, then put a reply in the comments box at the bottom of this video. I was in your arms, thinking I belonged there. I figured it made sense, building me a fence, building me a home, thinking I'd be strong there. But I was a fool, playing by the rules. The gods may throw a dice, their minds as cold as ice, and someone way down here loses someone dear. So you know what to do.
They seek him there, they seek him high, they seek him low. Where's Golly?
During the course of this program, I will be putting Golly somewhere in here. And again, to be interactive, if you know where Golly is, then just leave a comment and say where Golly, or where you saw Golly, somewhere in this shed. So keep your eyes open for Golly. He will appear later in the program. Okay, moving on. It's time for something completely new as well.
Who am I?
It's part of the show where you at home will have 60 seconds to work out which famous celebrity I'm describing. So I've just set the timer here, and when the timer goes, hopefully you will have guessed who it is, and just let me know how many seconds it took you to work out who it was. So I've got to try and do it without mentioning the person's name. Let's see how we do. Oh, I'm not sure this is going to work. Okay, here we go. Start the clock. His breakthrough role was in the science fiction thriller Inception in 2010. He's an English actor, and he was brought into the mainstream audience worldwide. He's done a lot of different roles. He's worked on stage and screen. His television debut was in the miniseries Band of Brothers in 2001. He's been cast in World War II drama. He left studies at Drama Centre in London. He's been cast in Black Hawk Down in 2001. He was in Star Trek Nemesis. He was born on the 15th of September 1977 in Hammersmith, London. He went to Tower Hall School, Drama Centre, London. In 2003, he was known as... Evening Standard said he was the most promising newcomer, and he won an award for that. And yeah, he's been in lots of things. Did you guess who it was? Well, give yourselves a pat on the back if you guessed it was Tom Hardy. So well done. Oh, do you know what, that was pretty hard. But well done if you got it. If you didn't, sorry, my description wasn't any better. And now for something easier.
Name this location!
A picture is about to flash up on the screen, and let's see if you can name this famous landmark from around the world. Again, just leave a comment below this video if you've worked out where this is.
SOTD, story of the day.
As you can see, I'm here living inside this very comfy shed, and so I wanted to bring you the story of the day, and scouring, searching the internet for something that caught my eye. And there was a story in the Guardian newspaper that I've just read about a flat share advert that called for a laid back, happy-go-lucky type of person that's sociable and open-minded. Now that doesn't sound like much of a story, but somebody went and looked at this flat share apartment, and it turned out to be a shed in someone's living room. And of course it just had a mattress inside it, and then the living room would be the communal living area. And that room was in Bethnal Green in London, was going for, and this is what caught my eye, a shed in a living room, £480 a month, plus bills on top of that. I'm not sure they'd get too many bills inside a shed, but of course they'd have to share all the gas and electric bills for the rest of the house. And the person actually saw the funny side to it and said that they were laughing to themselves all the way back down to the tube. In fact, that's probably quite common in London, people just laughing to themselves as they're walking along or not talking. But what a bizarre situation. And well, maybe I should rent this out for £480 a month.
SOTD, story of the day.
Do get out, and tonight I'm on a Coventry City ring road. Doesn't get better than this. See, I don't just stay in the shed, I do go out sometimes. And even some canal barges. Oh, I wonder what it's like to live in one of those. I've even made it out to hear some live music. It's the last bus home, so I'm gonna have to walk it. Oh well, back to the shed we go. Ha la 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 la, ba da ba da ba da. I made it home alive, so it's time to go back to the shed. Far too much adventure outside for one day. I need the shed.
Phew, look at that view!
Okay, it's a part of the show where we're going to go and have a look outside to see what the weather's doing. Bit of a change of scenery, so come follow me. It's grey and cloudy.
Over Over to you, over to you, over to you in Shedaloogoo. Over to you, over to you, over to you in Shedaloogoo.
Yes, this is an interactive program, and Shedaloogoo would like to hear from you. So if you've got any thoughts about the wackiness, the craziness of the program, anything we can do to improve, then please leave a comment below the video and I will read out some of those, even if they're not very nice. Please don't mention the beard. I'm growing it. The reason why I'm growing a beard, I must just say, is because whilst I'm having my house renovated, of course I'm living in this shed, and so I started growing this beard, and as you can see, it's wild, it's grey, and it's just crazy. But if you've got a comment, do leave us a message, because that's what Shedaloogoo Over to You is all about. Moving swiftly on,
Where are they now?
is the part of the program where, of course, people that we once knew on TV shows, movies, maybe in theatre or song, or just from the newspapers or from the internet, but where did it just disappear to? Did it just fall off the end of the earth? So each episode we're going to look at a different famous person who may not be famous anymore and just find out what happened to them. And if you're like me, getting on a bit, I've used the internet for many years, and of course at the turn of the century, around about 2003, there was a great invention called MySpace. And if you remember joining MySpace, your very first and sometimes only friend would be Tom. MySpace Tom. Here's a picture of him. And Tom was everybody's friend, and MySpace was the place to be in 2003 to around about 2006, 2007. But whatever happened to MySpace Tom? Well, I don't know if you know, in 2009 he retired from the company, and MySpace ended up being sold to News Corporation for $580 million. So he did quite well out of it, and now Tom Anderson is, well, he's around about 40, I think he's 45 now, and instead of doing MySpace, he's now travelling the world. He's quite reclusive, and what he's been doing is travelling the world as a photographer and taking lots of lovely landscape pictures. But he's not so photogenic himself, almost disappeared into oblivion, and yet this is one of the few pictures of recent times of MySpace Tom.
Shedaloogoo joke of the day.
Why don't blind people like to skydive? Because it scares the hell out of the dog. Oh, that was terrible. Sorry. Let's move on.
Fascinating fact.
A sheep, a duck and a rooster were the first passengers in a hot air balloon. That was a bit better than the joke. And then finally, it's this.
Shedaloogoo.
The world's ocean contained 20 million tons of gold. But unfortunately, it's not in gold blocks, so don't go diving into the ocean thinking you're going to get gold, striking lucky. And that is according to oceanservice.noaa.gov facts. Gold / / / / / / So there you go, there's some interesting facts, jokes and other bits. Well, I hope you've enjoyed the programme, but that is about it from this pilot episode Inside the Shed. Will there be another one? Who knows? If you've enjoyed it or just cringed watching it, please leave a comment, like, dislike, talk about the beard, say I look like Compo, who knows? But I really hope you've enjoyed it.
What did he do in Shedaloogoo? What did he say in Shedaloogoo? What would you do in Shedaloogoo? What would you say in Shedaloogoo?
What did he do in Shedaloogoo? What did he say in Shedaloogoo? What would you do in Shedaloogoo? What would you say in Shedaloogoo?